Warning, this video contains music opinions! What is up, guys? It is Twist from Real Twisted Reviews, and today, first review that we're going to be doing, Burials by AFI. It is like a midway point in the AFI career. A lot of their stuff was like really punk when they started. Now today is like very, I don't know, it was like house almost. Me and Robert, we was like, we're going to sit down and do this one because we like AFI. We heard a couple of songs from this album, but we've never listened to the whole thing front to back. So we did that this week, and we're going to give you our thoughts on it, and we're just going to take off and see how we go. Burials is the 9th album by AFI. It definitely isn't what they started with, but this is kind of what they are now. Like, this album definitely is more of what they are turning into, which is a lot of people that were fans of the band don't like that they kind of gave up their punk roots. But to me, it's like, as a musician, when you get older, that punk stuff, while you still feel it, you don't want to write about, punk stuff like your entire career. Sometimes you want to like be an artist and actually produce something for the art, in the sense of like, take your time, put some effects on stuff, and they definitely go this route. The first track is something that they always do. AFI pretty much always will put like a little half song to start the CD. It'll be kind of building up, very reverby. We're gonna get back to reverb, don't worry. Reverby kind of start, a lot of ominous stuff, and then there'll be a little half song. And then it kicks off into I Hope You Suffer. This is a good number 2 track for the album because the theme that Davey says they're trying to do for the album, I think this one does encompass it. I think this is a good track to show you what the album is trying to do. I won't say it's the most catchy song ever, and I'm not even very picky, but it's a good song. It's not like amazing, but it is a really good song to start what the album is supposed to be. Deep Soul Panic, to me, is the main single. I really like this song. It's pretty cool. This is another good one that encompasses what the album is supposed to be. And Davey says on this album that the album is supposed to be about burials and the silence. It's supposed to be really dark within yourself type stuff. He claims it's the darkest album AFI's ever done lyrically. I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't know how much of that is him trying to sell the album, but I'm not saying it's not. To him, again, when you're an artist, it's all what in the moment, what you're trying to say. And to him, maybe it was. As a fan of AFI, pretty much their whole career, they have some pretty dark stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's the most dark, but hey, if that's what he's wanting to do. Next up is No Resurrection. I'm sorry, it's a skipper. This album definitely has some skippers, but it has really good bangers too. 17 Crimes, The Conductor, and Heart Stops. That is a good 3 chunk of just solid bangers that they did. To me, this is my favorite little section on the CD. Each of these songs is catchy. Conductor is my favorite song on the album. Just a really good song. I don't get tired of listening to it. 17 Crimes, I feel like could have been on their Crash Love CD, and it would have made sense. So it's got that kind of catchiness to it. The Conductor is just really powerful. It's got that housey sound that they've moved to, really bass. And then Heart Stops, another one, could have been on Crash Love. Rewind, skipper, I'm sorry. The Embrace, I thought was cool because it sounds kind of like 9 Inch Nails a little bit, and it's a little different from what they've done on the rest of the album. Wild, sorry, not so good. Greater Than 84, Anxious, and The Face Beneath the Waves. All of these are not amazing to me. In today's age, people don't make it to the end of albums anymore, so it's whatever. In the words of Dexter Holland, albums aren't relevant anymore. Music is basically just what you put on in the background while you're playing Xbox. So my overall thoughts on the CD. Good CD. Production wise, I do feel like they really went with way too much reverb, just way too much. There's some songs in here, I think Wild, like it's like reverb on drums, reverb on vocals, reverb on the instruments. It's too much. Some of it, it's like you listening to it in a cave. That, you know, as an artist, you can do what you want to do. I didn't necessarily dig it, and that's why I didn't like some of those songs at the end. It just seems like almost every song on the CD has a lot of reverb, and it's almost like it's a crutch to where it kind of gets annoying. And it's sad to say, because I feel like some of these songs, if you took that reverb off, would be kind of cool. The thing with AFI, they have this thing where a lot of their music, it's not it's weird. Their composition is kind of weird. Jade, the writer, the guitar player, he has his own little style. Now, they do some cool stuff. AFI is one of the best bands when it comes to like using a single string on the guitar and making that a riff. And they do it tastefully, so it is pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I really like the album. I'm ready to hear what Robert Reel thinks. All right, guys, we'll see you on the other side.
All right, getting right into it. AFI Burials, 13 solid tracks. I'm a little upset that I haven't listened to this album until now. When it comes to AFI, I pretty much listen to Sing the Sorrow and December Underground and a few other random tracks, and I haven't really listened to much else. But I was not disappointed with this album. Starting off with track 1, The Sinking Night. Amazing intro to the album. Haunting. But I love the vocals when it kicks up in the intensity in the middle of it. Hell of a good way to start off the album. Perfectly leads into track 2, one of my favorites, I Hope You Suffer. Keeps that intensity going. Great hook, and it's simple. It reminds me a lot of Sugartooth's kind of hooks and choruses. Keeping it simple. Track 3, a deep, slow panic. I like how the title is A Deep, Slow Panic, but track 3 actually finally kicks up the tempo, gets a little bit more energetic. Track 4, No Resurrection, kind of slows it back down again. I love the flow of the melody. Track 5, according to Spotify, it's the most popular track on the album, and I can kind of see why. Kicks the pace back up again after that smooth melody of track 4. Track 6, The Conductor. Love the way it starts. It's got a sweet little guitar lick. Tone in the verse is really chilling. And this one and one or two of the other songs on this album, they've got this cyberpunk type vibe. If you've ever watched like Cyberpunk, Total Recall, Blade Runner, it just kind of sounds like one of those songs you'd hear in a movie like that. Track 7, Heart Stops. It's a good jam. Simple and groovy. I dig it. It's a good little halfway point. Track 8, Rewind. Cool little emo ditty is how I would describe it. It kind of reminds me of the older Taking Back Sunday emo alt rock. This being from 2013, it wasn't too far removed from that era, but still good. I like the way it sounds. The next 2 tracks are 2 of my favorites on the whole album. Track 9, The Embrace. The bass on the intro, I love it. It's fuzzy, grimy. That's another one of those cyberpunky sounding tunes. Really powerful chorus. I like the way it's done. Track 10, Wild. Kicks up that intensity again. Like I was saying before, how they kind of go from melodic to intense. They do that really well throughout the whole album. Keeps you guessing. So you don't think, oh, the whole album's just going to be a bunch of high-tempo songs, or the whole album's just going to be a bunch of slow, melodic stuff. No, it kind of keeps you guessing, keeps you wondering. Track 11, Greater Than 84. That was kind of a funny title, considering how the chorus is, about 1985. Ha 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 ha. doesn't let up on that intensity, and it's also got a cool little intro. Track 12, Anxious, bringing back the gritty vocal. That's something that AFI also does really well. They can mix that harsh, really gritty vocal style with a smooth, melodic, and powerful. Showcases the talent of old Davey. And finally, closing out the album, longest track on the album, which is good for an outro. Keep them hanging on when they think it's just going to be another short tune and then the album's over. You hang on for a minute or two more than your other tracks. Kind of gives people that feeling of, oh, it's so good, I don't want it to end. Love the effects on the melody, on the vocals. It's a solid way to close out the album. All in all, my personal opinion, there was not a bad song on this album for me. It was 2, 9, and 10, definitely my favorites. But I do love the way the conductor starts off with that sweet little lick. Definitely top favorite one of the whole album it's a tie between 9 and 10. That's just those are great tunes. 9 being the one that's got that really awesome bass intro, The Embrace. Like I said, I recommend it. I'm a little upset that it's taken me this long to listen to it. I highly recommend it. You guys should check it out too.
Thanks everyone for checking out another Real Twisted review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you in the next one.